I'm trying to incorporate like a scratch and sniff subscription program down the line for the show, and
Hard pass.
Oh shit!
What?
All right.
That could be fun.
No.
it smells like blood again.
Why do these all smell like blood?
I
Always
was
smell like
thinking
blood.
when he's talking about a scratch and sniff subscription, it was going to be like Ode to Hunter.
It'd be lavender and juniper.
I thought that
not
he was
bad.
just going to collect the crust off of our pop filters and be like, "This is Breath of Hunter. This is Breath of James. This is Breath of John and Sarah."
That could be an alternative prize if you pay for that $100 blood tier.
Just
That's how we get.
as somebody who used to sell clothing of myself on the internet, you can make a fuckload of money.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very it's upsetting. I'm gonna be honest. It's not a good time. But if you do that and it makes it work,
My old band, we had a smoke machine, like a fog machine, but you can add scents to those. So I developed our own scent for the band. It was a mixture of like grass, dirt, and roses. I wanted it to smell like a graveyard.
that's adorable.
I dig it.
Welcome to Plank Bodies, a Vampire the Masquerade V5 horror and tabletop and
tried.
nerd shit
You did.
and podcast listening experience.
Bum 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 bum.
Da, da. I'm your host, Hunter, and as always, I'm joined by the other hosts.
I'm John.
I am Sarah.
And we got our lore bot.
James.
Yeah, so what are we talking about today?
Shadows, darkness, the night.
You could just say edgelords.
Fuck. All right. Yeah, this is one of our Patreon episodes. Kinda.
Thanks, guys.
They chose what we talked about.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've been doing a thing where patrons get to choose the categories of clans that we throw up onto Twitter as a poll for inter-clan blood sports. And Lasombra came out on top for our second clan deep dive episode.
It's kind of funny it's Lasombra because we did like Lasombra with the lights on last time.
Oh.
Hey, we did default Mountain Dew, and now we're doing Code Red.
I
I
don't
thought
know.
you said they were Baja.
Oh yeah, they're Baja Blast. Code Red is the Ventru because they're definitely a red flag.
I don't know. The more I read the clan books this week, and I did some reading, and it's like, as much as I want to like Lasombra, I also just like the most frustrating clan book to read for me so far. But we'll get more into that as we go. That's definitely going to come up, especially in the history section.
Do they give you the vibes of just blood?
No.
Blood.
So, not to get too spicy up top,
bit
but this
sick.
reminds me of like every time I've made friends with a libertarian, where it's like they're cool and, we both like video games and shooting guns and they're chill. And then you get a drink or two in them and they won't shut the fuck up about Rome or Darwinism.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as red flags as Venture are, Lasombra is just kind of a sentient red flag of a clan. So buckle in, everybody. It's going to be fun.
I mean, let's be real, guys. We have to be fair. All of the clans are red flags.
Yeah, they're villains.
What the fuck did Nosferatu do?
They're sneaky. You can't trust them. Man, if you tell them one thing, they're going to keep that until it's useful, and then you are fucked.
Yes.
Again, a Jewish allegory that is bad.
I don't know if we brought that up before. I don't know if the again there was.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I have, but that's just because
I just mean on the show.
an asshole. In rereading some stuff from, because it was the 90s, a lot of things were getting written, and then you're looking at it now in 2020 eyes, and you're like, oh, this is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Aren't Nosferatu very Eastern European? Like,
Yeah,
heritage-wise?
that's
We're not.
also problem. That's it's that we'll cover that when we do the Nosferatu. It's the Lasombra right now. So.
If you want to learn about Nosferatu, you better fucking vote for him.
I know, Nos boys, best boys.
Yup.
They've been on the poll. We're talking about Lasombra.
So,
Yeah.
Lasombra, this episode had a lot of resources. The next episode is going to have even fucking more. We're mostly pulling from the Chicago by Night source book, because that's where the clan first pulled up in V5. We also got some stuff from the Lasombra clan book and the revised editions in the previous versions of Vampire and some other supplemental books, and some video information from Outstar and the Primogen and Lore by Night and Matthew Dawkins. So we've done all the research. So strapping everybody, it gonna get spooky and Catholic.
Yeah. So I think one of the major things about Clan Lasombra is that for the majority of Vampire, they were the figurehead of the Sabbat up until that was busted in the newest edition. But that's kind of what they're known for. They're kind of known as like the figurehead leaders of the Sabbat. Kind of like the Ventru mirror, where they're the Sabbat head, like the Ventru are the Camarilla head.
Yeah, though the Lasombra as just like a general vibe, because this can change a little bit depending on the individual person, is the Lasombra, unlike the Ventru or even the Tzimisce in the Sabbat, they weren't like, I need to be the figurehead and in charge. They're fine with being more like the power behind the throne. A little bit more
They're
of a
the
little
worm
finger.
tongue.
Yeah. Like that, except, probably better dressed.
You leave Chucky alone.
Oh.
Yeah, Bradendorf is a treasure.
No, he is. I'm just saying the character. The Lasombra were a major part of the Sabbat until, V5 info. They've switched into seeking refuge within the Camarilla. Not saying that the Ventru aren't just like, yes, this is hilarious.
But they are.
Yeah. The Lasombra are also known to be more of the spearheads of the first Anarch Revolt. A lot of the Lasombra will not shut the fuck up about that. Mm-hmm. And they also suppose that they were the first among the clans to eat their antediluvian.
Big.
I have a big if, but we'll also cover that in the history section later.
Yeah. And they kind of base a lot of their philosophy on the fact that they were the first to do that. They're very willing to sacrifice any member of their own clan if it strengthens the clan as a whole.
It's not even so much strengthening the clan as a whole, because the Lasombra aren't as like cohesively organized as all of that. They overall have a look at it's a very grim, like Darwinistic kind of view, where it's like, look, I am the elite predator person in charge, and the way I prove that is by taking things, because this is mine. But on the flip side, also, if they need to save their ass, like, pretty much no price is too high. If it's like, like, yeah, you can take my money and my cars and my house and my ghouls and my sire. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck.
I choose to live.
See, the vibe I kind of got from the original clan book was more just like, we are only as strong as our weakest link, and if you're the weakest link, I'll eat you to be stronger and strengthen everyone else as well by getting rid of you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it's coming from this strange, libertarian, I think, was a good way to go about it, where it's very individualistic, but everybody is such a strong individual, it causes kind of like a cohesive unit.
So is this Why Am I Paying Taxes, the clan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
While
no,
also collecting taxes.
Yeah, you pay taxes to me because I own you, and I let you live because you're somewhat useful to me, and if the second you're not, I'm gonna eat you, and then all your stuff is mine. So in another kind of vibe that I think fits with the Lasombra is Dark Souls. Just that kind of grim, dark, gothic, like, get good attitude. And it's like, oh, well, I'm having trouble with this boss. Why can't I get through it? And it's just like, get good at it. And if you don't, you're going to die.
It's probably also, you could relate it back to Dark Souls and the fact of, like, just the rampant deeblery and feeding on... It's just like, why do we keep having problems? Why is the world so fucked up? You keep eating people's souls for power, and you never thought that was a problem.
No, actually, they do. And there's a thing about that we can talk about later in the episode. Okay, they did think about this.
Oh, okay.
It's really interesting, actually.
Mr. Dark Souls, and I'm like, oh, poor Gwen.
Yeah, but the clan does overall tend to view things like morals and empathy to be a nuisance and something you should probably get rid of because it gets in the way of you doing your objective.
A tertiary thing.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you care about the coffee shop lady? Why?
She gives me good coffee.
Yeah. Why do you care about coffee?
That's fair, I guess. How much of all this, like, we are the survivors, we are the predators, blah, 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 comes from their tie with their, like, clan discipline, do you think? And how, like, lethal that can be.
Almost completely, yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay, cool. We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Oh,
later,
yeah. We'll get into that a little bit now. So one of the big, like, oh, this is a cool and slightly different twist on vampire lore for the Lasombra is their tie-in with the Abyss. So, yeah, it's very Cthulhian and basically just being spiritually and mentally tied into this kind of void plane does make them a little colder and a bit more distant and not as keen on dealing with humanity and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that clouds pretty much everything they do.
Yeah.
It's like, when you stare at the void and the void stares back at you and is like, hi, we're friends.
Right.
And
Might
you're
change your perspective.
And you're like, friend request accepted.
Yes. Sometimes it is, sometimes not. And there are chunks of the Sabbat that even acknowledge the Abyss as a way of basically tying him into a sense of the divine, because it's such a just strange and alien thing there. It's like, well, there's no scientific explanation for this. This has to be proof of God, and therefore I am an agent of God.
Oh, so it's the concept of the Chaos Gods from 40K.
Kinda.
Yeah, because literally the God Emperor was just like, there are no gods. And then, the Marines found things that looked like gods, and they're like, what's that? Explain that.
Yes. Lasombra is basically the clan that they are the ones that go bump in the night because they're literally wielding shadows and darkness.
It is kind of cool. I mean, edgy for sure, but also, like, that's neat.
And it's also what leads them to be terrifying to other vampires because, you could just be trying to do your business and fucking some shadow spike will come out of the wall and get you.
Right? Yeah.
That's
or
fucked
some
up.
dude will step out from behind you because, again, you're in a room with a shadow.
Yeah, and they're just like, hi. I've tried to reach out to you about car's extended warranty.
Oh, God.
Stake myself.
That is not my NPC, but I want to play that character. Just
A Sombra car salesman.
no, just a scam artist. Just I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
I think either
I am
could be
not
good.
taking no for an answer.
And another kind of interesting story facet with Lasombra is a lot of them tend to be very prideful, bordering on to arrogant about not only just their inherent, like, well, obviously I'm the best because look what I can do. They also tend to have a drive towards some sort of like elegance and eloquence. Like Lasombra tend to dress well, even though they might not have the budget. Like they're gonna have a style. You're gonna be going, okay, that guy is slick, cool. Fuck. It's like that guy looks neat. He disappeared into the wall.
What just happened?
Fuck. Time to leave. And they also hold a kind of space for respect for people who are able to speak well. Yeah, being able to wield words and persuasion the way, people could wield a sword or shadows is something of note and respect within the clan. So you don't have to be a dumb brute like, I'm just a monster and dripping blood and shit. It's like, no. You can be like well-dressed, well-spoken, and be a cold, monstrous prick.
They don't just.
You could be a politician.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like the polite, uncaring like CEO of a company who's just like, oh, I can give a great speech in front of the company. Oh, you need time off because your wife died? I'm sorry, we need to finish these accounts first.
Yeah. It's just like, look, time is money, and you have a limited amount of it. Unlike me. Get it done.
Also, forget I said that.
Yeah. Yeah. Other names that the Lasombra will be referred to in game often is the Keepers, Magisters, or the Clan of the Night.
Clan of the Night.
I don't hear that one as often. It was definitely written a lot more in the 90s books, but these days it's like, nah, not so much.
See, I never
Because
heard.
it's a little bit cringy nowadays.
It's a little cringy.
Well, I never heard the. I always just heard Clan of Night.
Yeah, Clan of Night, Clan of the Night.
I think Clan of Night sounds better, just because it's less syllables.
Yeah.
It sounds a little more romantic, like, oh, I'm a member of the Clan of Night, instead of, yeah, I'm a member of the Clan of the Night.
Oh, it gets sillier later on.
Oh, I know. I read the.
I saw the book and I was like, you know it's coming.
I got all 5 head with the black hand on him.
Yeah. Is that supposed to be Tally on the cover?
I don't know. I know it's supposed to be like a shadow on his head,
okay.
I think, but
Because I love Tally. He's great in the stories. Like, great character, great NPC. Fucking terrifying. I've been trying to keep him out of y'all's Chicago by Night game just until you get through this chunk arc, and now I'm just like, but it would be fun. But, speaking of Lasombra, who becomes a Lasombra? Generally, the Lasombra are choosy about who they pick to go into their clan. Not unakin to the Ventru, but their weeding out process is a little bit more intense. Mm-hmm. I feel the need to give a slight warning because of some of the people that Lasombra like to go into are not great. So I'm sorry. Just proceeding forward with caution. The range of people that they tend to look for will range from like full-on sociopaths. It'll be ambitious social climbers, people who are brilliant in whatever field they're in, and they either are a bit too cutthroat or they don't get the acknowledgments that they feel like they are entitled to. You can also get people that are like persist in a field despite the odds. So like you fail constantly, but you're still like pushing through to try and get your goals, or, you know, victims and survivors of traumatic events.
No, I mean, this is a major Sabbat clan we're talking about are largely portrayed as villainous throughout a lot of the books. Like the villain to the villains. They are not picking always the cool, sexy people. They could be, but you could also have people like that. Was listening to the MK Ultra stuff last podcast, and it's just like, oh yeah, they would definitely take the scientist who like designed like chemical bombs, because he's like, well, if we kill them before they kill us, technically I'm saving lives.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Or, because I've been going through the Behind the Bastards series on Henry Kissinger. I had forgotten that man started his career by writing a book and an essay being like, no, we should use nuclear weapons tactically in the battlefield. And I'm just like, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
What?
We need to do it again.
What? And then all of the media at the time was like, well, we clearly need to have him on the talk show to talk about the warhead gap between the Russians. And I'm just like, what the fuck? No. Why? Oh, anywho, sorry, I need to not get myself keyed up.
That's fine. Tell us how you really
Sarah,
feel.
you're at 11. I need you like a 7.
I finally woke up. The kind of cliff notes of this is that the Lasombra tend to seek out people who are survivors, the cold-hearted, manipulators, pragmatists, and those who excel beyond their peers.
Again, makes sense from like a clan that the whole ideal behind their personality is like, I'm the top dog, I'm the best.
I'm top.
I will... No, I'm top.
No, I'm top.
Get on the bottom, you basic bitch. God bless Markiplier.
But yeah, who wants to read the quote from the book?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
The ideal Lasombra candidate for most of the clan is someone who feels distance from his society and yearns to change or overthrow it, but isn't locked into an overly narrow sense of what must be done. That's from the revised book.
Yeah. That's something from one of the older books, but there's like hints of that in the readout from the Chicago by Night book, and I'm just like, oh, this can get, depending on how spicy you want your game to be, this can get very spicy very quickly. Mm-hmm. And pulling further from the older books, because the V5 book gave a bit of info and left a lot of stuff open to interpretations for players and STs, which is great, and I love that. But the old book does have some notes on the embrace process for Lasombra, which I think are interesting and might be worth carrying forward into your games.
Okay.
The process itself tends to be very long and drawn out and cruel. And I'm sorry, everybody. But yeah, your sire will generally test the childer while they're still human without the childer knowing. Usually by ruining that kid's fucking life.
So I was reading in the script here too. And example of this could be like gang stalking to an intense degree. Just gang stalking for like 5 years and seeing how the person goes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or, like they're like, okay, this guy seems like he might be a good fit for us. What does he care about the most? I'm going to destroy that.
Yeah.
And see how they react. So if they're like an athlete, they're going to try and cripple them or like get a scandal and ruin their career. If they're a scientist, make them lose funding.
If they love their family.
Take the family, kill the wife, bury the dog, burn the house down, and just see how they react.
Does that mean Kratos would have made a good Lasombra?
Probably. Yeah. But yeah, if the mortal passes the vibe check, they proceed on to the next step. If they don't, well,
Sorry, bud. I guess you're broken in that alley from now on.
Yep, I guess you're homeless now.
Sorry, Batman.
And then they become a Nosferatu.
No. Oh, babies.
No, that's Man-Bat.
It's also true. But yes, at this point, if you have passed the vibe check, the sire will appear and will give you an offer. This can range from they being like, hey, so I destroyed your life. I killed your wife.
You seem cool. You want to hang
you've
out?
proven yourself worthy. So I can give you immortality and like cool powers if you want. Or it can be like hey, isn't that awful that your coworker sabotaged your career?
Don't you want to go ape shit?
I can help you do that. And just never tell them.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Also great for plot. If you're
Great for
running
plot.
that, if you're running that childer and you find out that your sire's the one that killed your family and made your coworkers hate you and got your upstart to fall through.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do forbidden snack?
Right. What are you going to do about it?
Right.
Because that'll be a hard pass in Lasombra. He'll be kind of happy, probably.
Yeah.
I live with you forever now.
Yeah, this kind of this moment kind of reminded me of there's Welcome to the Internet from Bo Burnham's Inside. Like halfway through the song, it like slows down tempo and Bo is like singing to some prospective like zillennial kid just being like, hey, so like there's all this like promise and future in the world with technology and we're just gonna hand you everything. And then he just like starts slowly manically cackling and then the tempo kicks back up and I'm like, it's just literally that moment. And I'm like, that is fucked. That is so fucked. It's like, I give you a little bit of everything all of the time. And I'm just like, no, get out of here. No, bad uncle. No.
Ew.
I know I made it gross. I'm
Apathy
sorry.
is tragedy and border is a crime is also good for Lasombra, too.
Yeah.
Hey, we found your soundtrack, Lasombra.
Just Bo Burnham's Inside.
Welcome to the internet. You can never use it.
Fuck. We'll get to that. We'll get to why that's deeply funny.
Yes, I got Sarah.
Yeah. This testing also will continue as a Lasombra internally from the clan. The book does give a really interesting breakdown on numbers, and I kind of crunched it down to make it a little easier to wrap our little brains around. So if a singular Lasombra starts with 100 prospective kine or humans for the process of embrace, 50 to 60 of that 100 will be deemed unworthy. So that's just like 50 to 60 lives they just shattered and don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
Another 5 to 10 will not survive the embrace and the initiation process. After 5 years from the embrace, only 20 to 30 Lasombra will remain.
Is that because they just kill them?
It's a combination. Well, it's the Lasombra have a penchant for testing and making sure it's like, hey, if you're going to have power and wield power, you need to be able to maintain that and buck the fuck up and actually be able to do shit. So even if you get turned and you're just like, okay, cool, I'm going to go back to, I got my revenge. I made it through. I've passed the test. I'm going to go start my whatever company again and have a life.
Oh, so emotionally stable people.
Yeah. Nope. So this is a process that I think will really color a Lasombra character and probably should. And be like, people are like, hey, why are you such an edgy fuckstick? It's like, wow.
Now, my question here is how many of those 20 to 30 that remain actually know about the 70 to 80 other humans that are just either dead or broken at this point? Like, are they actually aware that there are other people going through this, or do they?
Some may not.
Okay, all right.
And
I didn't know if it was like a Belko experiment situation where the Lasombra's just like, figure it out, kids.
Some might just be like, no. It's like, well, if they know, then like it's gonna ruin the test.
Right.
Yeah. In the original clan book, the old clan books kind of follow one character all the way through, and theirs starts with a neonate actually still being tested, and there's a scene, I believe, somewhere in the Middle East. I can't remember, but they're going through like a big open city market at night.
Oh, I think it was Marrakesh.
Marrakesh, yeah. But they have to track their sire in shadow form through a busy city market at night while they're lecturing them about clan history. And it's just like, all right, keep up.
Damn.
Get good.
Yeah.
I'm taking you to your initiation if you can make it.
If you don't, get fucked.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real intense.
Yeah, and the same section of the book also said that this testing process will continue. So, like, every 10 to 15 years, that 20 to 30 number is going to get halved and then halved and then halved. So, basically, up until modern times, it's rare to find a Lasombra that's over 100 years old. And if they are, run. That's the best advice.
Yeah.
And I know we've also talked about them a little bit in other, but like the anti-tribu are the ones who don't actually line up with the beliefs of the rest of the clan. I think compared to every other clan, Lasombra is like, no, we will kill them all and burn them. So it's like, if you're not with us, even on like a base level, like we are sending the new guys after you as part of their initiation.
Yeah, that's mostly changed in V5 because the anti-tribu previously, and because the Lasombra were aligned with Spot, so anti-tribu Lasombra Spot would be Lasombra that align with the Camarilla.
Or the Anarchs.
Yeah. So in previous editions, they were like, kill it with fire. In Modern Knights, not so much.
They may be even trying to buddy up with the people who've been in the Camarilla for hundreds of years at this point, being like, hey, sorry about all that stuff we said about you. Want to hang out?
So how's this shit work? Like, do I go up to the prince and say hello? Like, do I bring a tribute? I have my sire in a box. Do I just bring that to Elysium? Or like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what the process is.
Tire in a box.
How do I present
I just
this
really
present?
like that. I like that scene. He's just dragging a box behind him into Elysium. You're like, what the fuck is this? He goes, I bring to you my sire, Prince.
I'm introducing
Prince!
myself.
Yeah.
I brought tribute. And every venture's like, yes, do it. And I'm like, maybe don't do that. That seems like this might end poorly for you guys, but you know, I'm also not in charge of your clan, so do what you're gonna do, I guess. There was a fun side note in the previous book that I thought was fun is occasionally, very rarely, there will be a Lasombra Shovelhead. Very rarely, because usually when that happens, they're more of like a burn 'em quick out shock trooper, and they're deemed very unworthy to be a official member of the clan.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of like, yeah, cannon fodder, whatever. Now and again, you get one where an archbishop would be like, oh, you seem neat, pluck. So you might have the odd like, yeah, I dug myself out of a hole and ate all of my cousins and then went into battle, and now I'm just like super...
I'm jazzed, guys.
Just hella keyed up.
Yeah.
Jazzed for murder.
Or they might correct really hard in the other way and be like super like pressed and clean and like working really hard to have a presentation because everybody else in the clan knows they came out of a fucking dirty hole.
Oh, Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Oof. In-clan behaviors and socializing. The Lasombra are ambitious climbers.
I think that is given at this point.
Yeah. Well, that's like the thing that I think denotes them specifically compared to like the Ventrue and the Toreador, where like the Ventrue think they just exude like I own the throne, I am the throne, I sit here. And then the Toreador would do like they do a power behind the throne thing, but they tend to be a little bit more like just moving chess pieces like delicately, and it's more of an artful thing. The Lasombra are just like, no, I'm doing this.
They're really just the power is a ladder speech from Littlefinger, and just like you got to always be clawing your way, like never stop.
Do not
If you
stop.
stop on the ladder, you are a rung for somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what I think you're going for.
That literally, yes.
Where Ventrue can hit a I'm comfy here point, and like that's fine.
Yeah, I got mine. I'm good.
Yeah. Again, just Vamp Daddy, just Temple of Boom. He's got his
He's got his business. He's got his clubs. He's got his chunk of the city.
He doesn't need to be the literal music producer. He's like, I am a music producer, which is fine.
And he is expanding his business, but it's not a
Victor Temple,
clawing, just mean girl. I have to have this because I have to have it, and it's mine.
I don't know why my brain is stuck on chess right now, but I like to think of Ventrue. They win in chess by near the end of the game, flipping the chessboard and saying it was mine anyway. Toreador will beat you in a chess game,
or they'll let you win because they want to shag you for secrets later.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Lasombra, at the start of the chess game, stand up and shoot you.
I thought you were going to say Lasombra are going to win no matter what because they're Brennan Lee Mulligan. Just I will win.
There is a fun note about that, and we're just going to flip-flop some of the script. Fun note, apparently Lasombra fucking love chess.
Yeah.
They actually
okay, all right.
Yeah.
They do.
They do. It's actually something that if you want to get in good with a Lasombra, or you as a Lasombra want to be seen as somebody like worthy of investment or worthy of taking power, get good at fucking chess. Because while the Lasombra are aggressive, it is very much more cloak and dagger, backstab. I'm moving things from behind the scenes, from the shadows, quite literally. So being able to handle the minutia of a chess game and being like, okay, cool, I can move pieces and talk and and then get people set up in the right position and then is a very desirable skill for them.
Yeah, I would actually say the Ventrue are closer to... I know we're watching it later, but the speech in Pi about the game Go.
Oh yeah,
where they're talking about how you make beautiful moves, and no one really knows the math behind the intro to a Go game. It's not till the end where the pieces actually start to fall into place and it turns into like a strategic game.
Yeah,
where they're kind of just like making grand like fun like moves, whereas chess and Lasombra are like very deliberate and like I am moving this into a place of power, where Ventrue might just be like, oh yes, send them over here and I'm gonna make a scene about this. And
now the question I have, and I don't think it would be futzed up by their technology problem, do they like speed chess?
Some might.
Yeah, because I can't tell if they... Yeah, exactly. Analog clocks should be fine for them to click, click, click.
Well, and that also kind of leans into a point with the Lasombra, is that they're not unified as a clan.
Okay.
Like, it's not like the Ventrue where they have a serious hierarchy. They have different factions within the clan that have very distinct ideologies on how they interpret their place in the universe and how they should be wielding their power. Some of the list of the factions include the Crusaders, who are like the more conservative, like, no, we need to be fighting and preparing for the antediluvians, there's the Black Angels, which are the ones that think that they're powered by Satan and they're doing his work on the world. And then there's like Fatalists, who just think, I'm trying to remember, there's so many dumb, like, not dumb, but there's like so many different variations. There's the Faithful, who think that they are cursed by God and they're doing his will on the planet, and they're kind of the antithesis of the Black Angels. Transhumanists I thought were fun, where they're trying to get beyond the mortal condition. And some of them,
once they become vampire, they're there.
Yeah, well, they're going beyond that, because there's a lot of vampires that like cling to their mortal trappings.
Okay.
And will have mortal reactions to things like flinching and shit like that.
It sounds like she's describing a portion of like galvanization.
Kinda, yeah. And some of these transhumanists are also really into technology.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that theme is really big in the Noose V5 Sabbat book, where in like one of the paths it talks about like completely killing everything about yourself is human to be the ultimate predator, but you might also be like, like she was saying, eschewing like human emotion, caring about other people. But at the same time, you could this transhuman could be like, oh, I'm going towards Gehenna, and I'm going to enlighten myself to the even next step above me, and like thinking, or that they think that's the next step, or like she said, technology, like, oh, to the point where like I can code a computer that thinks so much faster than me that it is a extension of me because I control that computer. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
got kind of confused for a second.
Which, honestly enough, random thought bringing up galvanization. Galvatron would probably make a really good Lasombra, now that I think about it. His whole thing is fighting his boss. He's like, no one's the boss of me. I'm the most powerful. I've got to kill Unicron.
Yeah. But there is a...
You're talking about Transformers.
Yes.
Got it. I was like, what are you fucking
fuck?
talking about,
Are
buddy?
these vampires?
Yeah.
Vampire robots.
If you look into the original Transformers movie, he'd probably make a fucking great Lasombra.
Robots can't be vampires. They don't have blood.
I will suck the transmission fluid.
They do have blood. It's real fucked up and weird.
Mage 5 isn't out yet. Someday we'll talk about that.
We'll get to that point. But there is one organization that kind of will keep all of this somewhat vaguely together, and it's the Amici Nocti. Noctis. Was known as Les Amis Noirs, also known as the Friends of the Night in English, which I don't fucking like that title.
We're the Friends of the Night.
Friends of the Night! Yeehaw!
That sounds like...
That sounds like there's hoods involved.
No, I was gonna say, that sounds like a union style hunter organization, in the 80s when all those white dudes came back from wars and were like, I'm gonna go wear a beret and police the city streets. They would be called the Friends of the Night.
And it does not sound cool in English. In French and Italian and German and other languages I've seen this written in, looks rad, sounds cool. English fails again.
Yeah, English feels like a hall monitor.
Yeah. So the rough of this is the Amici Noctis is a rough secret, big bunny air quotes, secret society within the Lasombra, generally made up of elders and those who are deemed worthy to be part of the society, to kind of regulate intra-clan issues and kind of give just general nudges of hey, we should invest in this, we need to move here, da-da-da-da-da. This is the group that organized all the stuff for Lasombra getting into the Camarilla, da-da-da-da-da. But it's not a formal structure, and it does leave a lot of room open for local independent groups to kind of function. It's not, it's very anarchic in that way.
It's kind of the opposite of the board, I suppose. Whereas for Ventrue, the board is increasing levels of power to where a top member of the board could reach out to any other city with tower line Ventrue and be like, hey, I need you to do this now, and it would pretty much be done unquestioning. Whereas this group is everyone's kind of doing their own thing for the most part. Yeah,
but they can come together and agree to do X, Y, and Z. The biggest thing that they do is locally is the Courts of Blood, which where the Diablo thing kicks in. The Antediluvian for Lasombra looked at the vampire curse of wanting to eat your elders and went, I see this is going to be a problem. What if I create an organization and a method for people in my clan to petition to diablerize each other and have some fucking sense when they're doing it? So that's what this tradition is. So anybody who is a Lasombra can petition their local Amici Nocti members to be like, hey, I have a grievance against somebody else in the clan.
I would like to eat them.
And I would, basically, yes. And they will have an actual fucking trial.
And then if trial is, eat them, homie just has to stand there and be like, all right, man, here you go.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I think, at least by the way that we're describing this, I don't think they'd just be like, yes, just stand there and get eaten. I think there'd be a bare knuckle boxing thing, and you'd still have
this can range. This trial can range from a few nights to years of deliberation and process. But at least the information I got from the old book was most of these cases are deemed to be unworthy of the court's time. And the person who brought up the petition now has to make amends and suffer a punishment for wasting everybody's time.
Oh.
There are cases where the defendant is deemed to have caused enough a grievance to either have to face a punishment or diablerie. It's on the table. It is there. That could happen. And then there's times where the court goes, actually, the guy who brought the problem was actually the major bitch. You can eat him. That has happened.
This sounds like...
I'm pissed at Greg. Why are you pissed at Greg? Man, remember that like 4 years ago he smacked that sandwich out of my hand? I'm still kind of pissed about it. Eat him, Greg.
Greg, have a snack.
The super easy plot hook. So now that Lasombra are in the Camarilla, a lot of Camarilla are like anti-diablerie, but like some cities don't even allow it in cases of blood hunt. It's like just kill them and they're done. Do not eat them. Now imagine the local Amite Nocte in a city approve a diablerie in a city where diablerie is illegal, and now you have all the Lasombra in the city be like, "What? This is how we deal. It's our own people."
This
and
is our culture.
And everyone else is like, "That's fucked up. You can't do that." That's like that could be an entire year's worth of games built around.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's... I think it's interesting that the Lasombra skirt this line between, like, no, there's ultimate freedom and individualistic power, and da-da-da, but then they have a fucking court system.
I realize we've never brought this up on the podcast, and it's a big old change that I liked, and it's very interesting for V5 versus Old World. And it's the fact that diablerie scars go away. In the Old World, like, you used to be able to get away with that, just being like, I came from the 1800s, we ate everyone. Fuck you. These have been on here forever. But now in this one, you can, like, see it. Like, there's a way to detect your crimes. You used to have just oh no, that's been there.
Auspex is great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't ever not sink points into Auspex. If you can do it, fucking do it as a player. It's great.
Well, also, in the new version, you can kind of, because it wanes over time, you can almost, if you're good enough at it, you can kind of tell when it happened.
Yeah, exactly. I just realized we've never brought that up, which that used to be when I played old vampires, just be like, yeah, I ate somebody. It was the 1800s. Everybody was doing it.
Also, like, I can almost guarantee anytime you're walking into Elysium or a powerful group that you're going to have Auspex on you, at least at the door, if not the entire evening. Yeah. So
there's an Auspex
people are going to know if you've been chomping on others.
Now, would it be fair to say that if you're in a city that has a few Lasombra and somebody petitions the Court of Blood and a diablerie is deemed to be justified and warranted, and it does happen, let's not act like the Lasombra aren't going to be like, hey, we're going to like take this guy and have him go out of the city for a few years. He's going to go do something. And if everybody's like, hey, where's fucking Anthony? Like, the fuck? This is weird. Like, he's been busy, and they're just like, he's doing work.
Oh, he went to visit Prague.
Just like, oh, what's happening? Is he coming back? It's like, don't worry about it. It's fine.
I liked Anthony.
Recently, he actually hit us up and said that he kind of likes it there. We think he might stay.
He's got a cat now.
He's exploring a business opportunity. Yes. And then just do an Irish goodbye and just leave. Don't say anything. Just go.
I mean, that they could do that, obviously. But also, what if they're trying to make a point of, no, we're going to do what we want with our own people, even in this structure? They might just be like, eat him. All right, go talk to the prince right now.
Well, can also just be like...
oh, fuck you.
You could also, if you wanted to, like, yes-anding that, just go, go out of Camarilla limits, where it's Anarch Town, eat him, come back, then go talk to him. Be like, we didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, as a plot hook, this could be so spicy.
Shit happened in Gary. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Remember, don't ever go to Gary.
What? No, Gary's fine.
No, Gary's cool.
Gary's not that bad.
Gary. He's an asshole.
Oh, the place, the person, not the city. What? Don't disparage Gary.
Gary's some of the most violent, hardcore shows I've ever been to.
Yeah, I've been to shows in Gary. Gary's great.
That could be a positive or a negative. But.
Yeah. Other fun thing with Lasombra, they fucking love the ocean.
Yup.
Goddamn love the ocean. There's even a whole faction within the Lasombra called the Corsairs, where they're pirates.
You gotta acknowledge.
Somehow Gideon makes even more sense.
No, I know, that's why when you were setting up, you were like, he's a caitiff, but he's got oblivion powers and he's a pirate. I'm like, honestly, yes.
We must always acknowledge the inherent eroticism of the sea.
That's true. That is true. The ocean is horny and full of
she's
things.
thick.
She's thick and she's full of things that are
cute.
fucking terrifying, which is part of the reason that I think the Lasombra just like being in the water.
And more than a bit moist. But also, there are a lot of, even in Old World and New World, they really like to hint that there is some fucked up Oblivion stuff happening under any big body of water, and they never really go into detail. So,
Yeah. Pro tip for anybody doing Chicago by night as a fellow ST, if your players like to fuck around near the lake, just weaponize the lake. I do it all the time. It's great. Just vaguely ominous. Like, don't stare at it for too long and then just start describing things until people get uncomfortable.
nothing,
I like it.
nothing more unsettling than have your vampires walk in by like a city park or something on the edge of the lake, and then just, oh, there's a bunch of Lasombra singing songs to the lake about the lake.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say, make a notice check, and then just be like, if they roll high enough, one of you just like, you think you might have saw a tentacle. You look back, it's not there.
Just one of you hears singing.
I swear to God.
It's in an ancient language you don't understand. Do you go towards it?
I swear to God, a goose clapped.
A goose clapped. So, because of the Lasombra's love of the ocean, there's rumors of very powerful Lasombra just walking around the bottom of the ocean. They just chill there. That's where they
How
hang
do
out.
they survive with the pressure?
When you get old enough as an antediluvian, you ain't got to give a shit.
Well, there's also the powers of the abyss probably fortifying you because you're one with the shadow and it's fucking dark down there, bro.
Right.
There's also the fun of because of their ties to the ocean and piracy and boating. Lasombra are one of the most well-traveled clans. Like, parts of their clan traveled out east into Asia and south into Africa in super ye oldie times, so that when like the colonial shit started happening again, they were just like, what? There's already Lasombra here. What the fuck? How? So yeah, having a Lasombra character who's a way more worldly than everybody else in the city makes sense. Or like they can just be well traveled. They're like, I like being on a boat.
Yeah.
I like going places, go new. It's dark and spooky. There's no laws on the ocean.
The implications.
Yes.
Which, there may or may not be an antediluvian that regularly walks on the bottom of the ocean. I'm not going to say which one, but that's a secret tool we'll use for later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also there are reports and rumors that there might be just submarines in the ocean just full of Lasombra. They just live in them.
I love this so much.
I want the jaunty Lasombra submarine just
They
singing
wouldn't
sea
ever have
chanties.
to worry about like surfacing other than to get like fuel because they don't have to worry about oxygen.
And,
Yeah,
if they
but
got
blood.
a nuclear sub,
They never have to surface.
other than like
Food.
occasionally getting blood,
I think
Well,
that
even then,
If they
you
have a
just
herd that they
Oblivion
just...
out into there, grab a big fucking fish, bring it back in.
You right.
I'm a sup on a whale.
And that's also one of my favorite, you could use that extension of one of my favorite old, like, World War II rumors of just, like, nuclear subs of Russians who never returned. Like, during the Cold War, they just sent them out, and they're like, well, if nuclear war happens, we're going to come back in 100 years, and we're just going to, like, maintain a small group so that Russia can return to the surface.
Yeah.
Also in reference to Skipper's comment, are vampire squids just vampires?
No, but they could be. Somebody just ghouls a squid.
Yeah, we believe there are vampire squids, but there's no such thing as a vampire squid. It's just a shitload of Lasombra. Just, get him.
Vampire squids are cool, though.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They're really cool. So the disciplines for Lasombra, considering we've talked about what they do, they fucking love dominate. They probably will wield it more aggressively than pretty much anybody else. There's like, you do this, and everybody's just like, that's like almost a masquerade breach. I'm like, did he do the thing? Yeah. This person's just walk into traffic. I don't care.
I don't know. That is also one of the favorites of the Venture, though. Like,
Yeah.
both of them are just like...
But they like to do it subtly,
Well,
usually.
More times than not, a Venture will do it because it's a protestation of power as opposed to a Lasombra who'll just do it because they're like, it's Tuesday.
It's convenient.
This is more
for it.
efficient.
Yeah. Hey, go bring that thing over here. That's a masquerade breach. Well, it won't be if he doesn't remember. Hey, walk in front of that truck.
Yeah. Just constant cloud memory. I love the idea of Lasombra that have been in Spot for a while. Now they're having to acclimate to the Camarilla, and they're like, I have to fucking mind wipe everybody all the time. God damn it, I have so much shit to do. I can't just be mind wiping everybody all night. I'm busy.
I will always bring this up because I believe it is one of the best points that this terrible and amazing show did. Alphas. If you use mind wipe often, on one person, you should start destroying their brain with cancer.
I mean,
I don't know about cancer.
I don't know about cancer, but there is some kind of precedent in World of Darkness where it's like, yeah, if you keep mind wiping one person or one ghoul enough, it's going to affect them in ways where they're going to be like, yeah, there's just like chunks of time missing. They might just not be able to process memories well anymore.
Yeah, because the character in Alphas had the ability to just dominate to people, and she had a person that she did it to rapidly and would mind wipe, and they're like, why is she having a problem? Oh, you gave her cancer.
I was going to say, I think that's even like a major point in the Sabbat book where like when they're creating shovelheads or like new Sabbat, they'll just be like, all right, mind wipe until they forget who they ever were so that all they know is like the hole that they crawled out of and them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, when...
MK Ultra really was, like, ran by fucking Lasombra.
Yep.
Holy
or,
shit.
you know, like when you're doing that process of weeding out potential mortals for Embrace, you're just like, well, what if I just keep erasing parts of their brain and just kind of see what happens? It's fucked up. Potence is the other big one. They're real strong.
Do this thing. No? All right, I'll just beat the shit out of you till you do the thing.
Which is, I think, an interesting counterpart between them and the Venturi, because the Venturi are Fortitudes. They're just like, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna sit here, I'm a rock, I'm a rock, I'm a rock. Fuck y'all. Knock me off this pedestal, bitch.
I am the king!
And the Lasombra are much more of a, I'm gonna go fight it.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, I said it nicely once. All right, we're done.
Yeah. They're the player in King of the Hill that just, when people come up to the top of the hill, they punch him in the mouth instead of like trying to push him off the hill or stand the ground. All right.
Yeah, sweep the legs, Johnny.
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air.
Oh, no. And then the big one, the one that everybody's excited about, Oblivion. It used to be called Obtenebration.
But Obtenebration's really hard to say. So Oblivion.
They also wanted to have less... This is a balancing thing. Because you don't want to have Obtenebration and then the Necromancer powers from Cappadocian. That's just broken.
Yeah, so the Lasombra's thing, as we said earlier, is they're tied into the Abyss. So it's not even just like the disciplines, because you can make a Lasombra that doesn't inherently use Oblivion. They're still like spiritually tied to it. So, because that's part of where I find them to be really interesting, because they're basically like Lovecraftian characters, because they're stuck between our plane and this nega plane of uncaring cold forever, just entropy.
Yeah.
And then this discipline lets them to reach out into it and then wield it as a weapon.
Yeah, because we'll talk about it more on a future episode that I'm working on. But like the abyss that they're connected to is where like ghosts and like potentially like fucked up spirits and demons come from.
Yeah, it's not the full like afterlifey place that like Wraith are from. It's like sometimes it's either the space in between or a darker portion of it, if I recall correctly. It's a specific sphere area, not that as a whole. That's not definitely where you go when you die in World of Darkness. Not definitely.
That could be its whole own fucking episode.
It will be its own fucking episode later. Give us money, please.
Wait, that's my job.
Fuck you. But the Abyss, canonically, is semi-sentient and can manifest on its own.
That's intense.
Which is fucking spooky. Fucking spooky, my guys. Run with that in your stories, please. It's great. I'll go into more detail that on part 2 of this Lasombra deep dive. But yeah, so Abyss and Oblivion stuff lets you, weaponize the dark. You can have tendrils. You can have spooky claws. You can grab people and basically, like, necrote them.
So little idea that I had with Gideon. You know how he had like a big grudge against Balthazar?
Yeah.
His plan was to shackle him to a chair and then use the necrote hands on his head until it just crumbles. That
Nice.
was his plan.
That's pretty rad. Side note on the Oblivion, I didn't write in the script because I'm an idiot. I'm a hack and a fraud.
How dare you?
I know. So, like, you know how all the different disciplines are tied into different of the resonances?
Yeah.
Oblivion is not. It is specifically tied into no resonance. So if you're wanting to get a snack that's going to boost your Oblivion, you need to find no resonance, which in humans is difficult because generally humans are having some sort of emotion. So this is you're going to be feeding off of sociopaths.
Again, Patrick Bateman.
Yeah. Also, you know, there might be people that have other mental issues that make it hard for them to process emotions. They might read as no emotions, or people who've just gone through a traumatic event and they're still kind of like in an emotional shock.
What about someone who's in a vegetative state?
I think that could work, but that might definitely be a talk about the people at your game to see if they're chill with that, because that is
Yeah, that sounds gross.
super
It's super
exploitative.
gross,
It's
but,
super
like-
gross and super exploitative. Lore-wise, I don't see why not, but that's definitely hey guys, we're going to touch base on this real quick before we run with this in the game.
Does this fuck up anybody's consent sheet?
Fair.
That and like that gets into a whole nother fuck tangle of thoughts. We talked about it like a little bit on the last episode, but like, where does human life happen? Do we measure heartbeat or brain waves? And at what level?
Yeah.
Like that could get really complicated really quickly. So that is definitely a case by case basis, let alone a table by table basis.
Oh, for sure. Because my other thought would be like, you know, like in the States, we allowed lobotomies up until like the 70s as a medical procedure. So certain people that physically don't have the lobes to process emotions in a way that's like neurotypical,
Yeah.
might in your game fluff-wise register as somebody who has no resonance.
Right.
Which is also super sad and super fucked up, and maybe run that by your STs and your players before you run that in your game.
Oh, for sure. I was just thinking, like,
Yeah.
especially as a Lasombra, if you're somewhere and you're like, I want some Oblivion powers, I don't give a fuck. That person doesn't have a resonance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest one would be like, find somebody who is on their way to be a Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'd like to state for the record, if you are a player and hearing these things and you don't care what your table feels about, please revisit our consent episode. Please listen to it again a few times. I mean, engagement's great, but I believe you missed a message.
Yeah. Also, I think that's a cool idea, and it's really interesting thing to play with at your table. This is a game. You do have to kind of keep in mind balance. Like, if to boost your clan abilities, you know, someone needs to find a happy person, you shouldn't make it too much harder for a single player to find someone without a resonance, because then you're like limiting their ability to grow their players' abilities.
Well-
and so while you can make that a focus of the story, I wouldn't make it necessarily functionally more difficult.
They may have made it functionally more difficult because of how powerful Oblivion is. That's a potentiality.
Yeah, Oblivion's really powerful, and part of the way the Lasombra wielded is if they get certain critical successes or failures, they take stains to their humanity. So it's kind of a balancing thing, and how easy or not easy you want to make finding no resonance people, I think, might tie more into like the theming of your game. Because if you're running a really dark, like, humans are scum, everything's fucked, da-da-da-da-da, that's the kind of game and vibe you're wanting to run, finding people that have no resonance, I would assume, would be a lot easier. Though if you're wanting to play a game where there's, like, more hope in the world or more shades of gray, it might be more difficult to find these people, but I'm not saying... But I agree with you on the, like, don't make it fucking possible. But, you know, finding somebody with, like, a dysphoria of no resonance, I think, is pretty much, like, not a thing. Yeah. Unless you find a Ted Bundy or a Richard Ramirez or a Hitler.
Which, to yes and both points, Hunter's and Sarah's, if you look in the old world setting, they did say that World of Darkness was based on our world, but much worse.
I think they still kind of state that.
Yeah.
That personally, though, I think just it boils down to your table and you'll land somewhere probably even unintentionally just as your game goes on and NPCs happen. And I was going to say, though, maybe if you don't want to make it super challenging for your players to find those people, but you also don't want, like you said, everyone to be like a Richard Ramirez, you could also do it where, you find someone who, like, have you ever been so focused at work or doing chores around the house that you kind of are just functionally empty? Like, you're kind of just like an automaton. Like, I am like doing dishes and I kind of just blanked the last 15 minutes because I was in such a mode of doing this thing that, like, the emotional side of my brain just kind of turned off. You could find someone in a mode like that.
Oh, I got a terrible thing. So another option where it's like, this will be like a light resonance, like enough to get the dice, but no, nothing where this is getting into skidgy territory. Find a retail worker or a service industry worker. I can tell you from personal experience, when I clock in, I'm like, I literally have to fucking deaden myself to be able to function in the space. So I'm just like, yeah, go somewhere like that to find something. Okay, so we got the fun of the Lasombra Bane. It is very spicy.
Oh, yeah.
One of the most iconic.
Yeah.
It is. And again, Sarah decided to give this a name because there wasn't one in the book, so they put down Warped Reflection, which anyone seeing the reflection or recording, live or otherwise, of a Lasombra vampire can instantly recognize them for what they are, provided they know what they're looking for. People with no prior knowledge will know something is wrong, but likely attribute the distortion to irregularities in the reflecting surface or recording errors. Note that this will not hide the identity of the vampire with any certainty, and the Lasombra are no less likely to be caught on surveillance than any other vampire. In addition, use of modern communication technology, including a simple phone, requires a technology test at difficulty 2 plus Bane severity, as microphones have similar problems with the voice of a Lasombra as cameras with their image. Avoiding electronics vampire detection system is also done at a penalty equal to Bane severity. This comes from Chicago by Night, page 292.
I'm sorry. I literally could not figure a way to parse that down any more than what the editing team did. Because I've played games where people are like, I'm going to play a Lasombra and I can sneak past the cameras because I'm all warpy. And I'm like, nah.
No, you'll actually probably... Nah, if the security guard is even vaguely looking in that direction, he might actually go, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, well, it's also like there isn't a mechanical reason for you to be identified through the warped image. So, sorry, guys. Good luck. But yeah, this Bane comes from the fact that every Lasombra is inextricably tied to the abyss. Your personage, soul, what have you, is stuck between this plane and the abyss. And certain items in the material world are able to detect this. Don't take your Lasombra to the fucking airport.
Oh, EVP. Got it.
I flew right before COVID, and there's like pretty intense like biometric screenings and facial recognition. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
You can get anywhere near an airport with a Lasombra and have them not like key everything off. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Unless, you're a monster.
Which is why they like boats so much.
Could be a reason why they like boats now.
They're like, nah, I can't get into airports. They freak out every time I do.
Yeah. Though, fun side note, it has been noted in previous canon that some Lasombra will hire painters to periodically paint portraits of them because they can't see their reflection.
Well, that's cute.
It's just because they're like, I want to know what the fuck I look like, and I haven't looked at myself in like 20 years. In current timelines, it's not uncommon for Lasombra, as much as they loathe to deal with humans, to have a texting ghoul and a makeup ghoul and a stylist and all that because they can't fucking do it because they can't fucking see themselves in the mirror.
Remember, folks, if you want to fuck with a Lasombra, just pay the artist to do the picture poorly.
Aww. There was a fun note in the old book where Lasombra havens will either have absolutely no reflective anything or it will be all mirrors to fuck with people.
I'd say actually, I know I've brought it up before, but the intro story in the first clan book, the main character is talking about their sire, and they realize that she almost has like an obsession with mirrors, and she will like buy any mirror she sees in the city market, almost as if she's hoping one day she will be able to find a mirror that will show her reflection. And it's like all of a sudden it's just like this kind of really villainous character, and you're like, oh, that's fucking sad.
Yeah.
That is super sad. Or, there could be a extra villainous one who's like, I like looking at the fucked up. I like looking at it. I like seeing how fucked I am.
Quick question, because I haven't read that one yet. I know I have the first book, or I might have a few of those. Is she French?
No, I don't think so. I can't remember. I think most of the ones in that book, they talk about being in France, but I don't remember if the character himself is French.
I was seeing if they were kind of doing a like inverse of the French mirror ghosts.
Interesting.
Yeah. Though, my favorite note on the mirror thing from the old books that you could bring into your V5 games, because I think this is funny and also terrible. Hiring a Zamitzi to fleshcraft a ghoul to look exactly like you is, quote, a breach of good taste and grounds for diablerie.
That's funny.
Okay,
Interesting.
So Lasombra, hardline, anti-self-cessed. Got it.
Yeah, I can see that as like a perceived weakness where it's like that is very uncouth and undignified and a very human thing to want to see your fucking reflection. That's really sad.
That and it's just like if you're essentially creating look clones, like that can be a problem in a long term as well.
I mean, I guess depending on how hard you want to masquerade.
Yeah.
If you have a look clone, that's like, yeah, they can go out of the day and go get a Subway sandwich. Like, they can't be a vampire.
Right.
Shit. Imagine, like, a ghoul that just looks like you, and you're like, you're gonna go to this day job all day.
That's awful.
You're in middle management. You're going to be working 18 hours a day for the next... till you die.
I don't know.
Since you're a ghoul.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do good enough, I might take you through the next process, but you have to prove yourself. Just constantly that little carrot. Because, they're in middle management, and that's how you do that. And then there's the fun of the clan compulsion for Lasombra.
It's ruthlessness. They're not nice, first of all. I'm just going to go ahead and... If you guys haven't picked that up, this quote's going to kind of sum it up for you. To the Lasombra, failure is not an option. Their blood will urge them to any act conceivable to reach their goals, whether in the moment or in Byzantine plots lasting centuries. Any setback is felt profoundly, and they will quickly escalate to the most ruthless methods until they achieve their aims. The next time the vampire fails any action, they receive a 2 dice penalty to any and all rolls until a future attempt at the same action succeeds. Note that the above penalty applies to future attempts at triggering the action as well. So it gets harder for them to accomplish their goals, but they become obsessed with it.
Yeah, and that's fucked because, there's other clan compulsions where it's like, oh, you take negatives to the dice pool unless you're going to achieve the goal that you're going for. This one, they're just like, nah, get fucked.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Lasombra. It's like, oh, you want to do this? Yeah, get fucked. Oh, you want to be like a cool, edgy badass that like hangs out in the shadows and you're wearing like Catholic adjacent things and you're being all cool? Get fucked.
Are the Lasombra just the clan that like tapes $100 bill to a fishing line?
Yeah.
It was like, you want it? Nope. You want it? Nope. Oh, you got it? Nope. Sorry, bud. Get better.
Oh, you got it? There's a hook with barbs in it. I'm ripping that chunk of your hand out.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, thanks for the snack.
And the ruthlessness, given the conjunction of their ties in with institutionalized religion, I find to be also just like, because canonically in Vampire, they've couched themselves, particularly in Catholicism, but they'll put themselves in any religion as a tool. Not so much like, we believe in these things. And it's like, no, this is a quick and dirty way to get what we fucking want. Mm-hmm. And, because they're technically tied in with the divine, they can kind of lean into that for manipulation purposes. And I'm just like, having the clan bane of ruthlessness in mind of being in the Americas and whatnot is just like oh no. Oof.
Also, it might not be effective, but that's a good concept for a Lasombra Organivore.
What? Just
The $100 bill with the hook. Just be like, I got a chunk of your hand.
oh no. Oh no.
Oh, look at me. As I said, he might not be effective, but it's a way to do it.
Yeah. So that's our vibe check on the Lasombra. How are we all feeling about that?
Are we
Man, I don't have enough, like...
going to do the ideas?
Yeah, that's part of what this is.
Okay, yeah, I was checking. Okay, making sure.
I don't know if I have enough, like, darkly tinted sunglasses and long black trench coats for this anymore, guys.
Well, if you don't, none of us do.
Fedoras.
They don't wear fedoras.
I mean, again,
If anybody's wearing fedoras, it's the fucking Tremere. Come on.
Oof.
No.
I want to argue, but
No.
I can't.
I feel like the difference to me just looks like the difference between Ventrue and Lasombra are just like Ventrue, Ben Shapiro now, Lasombra, Ben Shapiro when he was a teenager with a katana and a fedora.
Nah.
I say if we're going fedoras, obviously it's the Giovanni.
There you go.
There it is.
But they'd have a
Alright.
real fedora, not a trilby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we joke about them being like edgelords, but it is kind of vampire, and everything is kind of an edgelord unless you make it otherwise. I think I said it earlier, but a big thing is a lot of their history and lore is tied to the Sabbat. So unless you're playing a Sabbat Lasombra, they are going to be a little bit different than this. Like, they're either going to be the people who are like, you know what, fuck that, I don't like any of that, I'm going to go over here and do what they're doing. Or they're going to go off with, like, the Anarchs. Or they're the kind who... they may be ruthless, but they're like, maybe we should need each other. So I think most people playing are probably going to be stepping away from a lot of this as well. And you can always bring those elements into your character. But if you're playing a Lasombra in a Anarch game or a Cam game, you're obviously, a lot of what we talked about is specific to the Sabbat, which in many ways is viewed as the villain. So...
Yeah, well, because of the Lasombra switch into the Camarilla, I think you get a lot of really interesting things out of that. Because I've written an NPC in my Chicago game where he was a diehard, like, Sabbat, dyed-in-the-wool, like, archbishop guy. Went out to the Gehenna Wars and then just went, nope, 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 and then came back and is now, like, really hard into the Cam now. And he's kind of taking that same... ambitious and like religious kind of bent to things and is now bringing it to a Camarilla city and just being like, okay, how far can I climb? Like, I don't want to die. I've worked this fucking hard and this fucking long to get where I am. And, you guys gave me baby steps to fucking stomp on all of you. Neat. You made this easy. Thank you.
Well, I can also see a level of symbiosis happening in the long term between Ventrue and Lasombra, because Ventrue like to be the king, and Lasombra openly like to be the king's advisor types. Like, there's a difference between, like, the king and the king's strategist, and I think having those, which may be a Toreador in your city, and also you have, like, these powerful Lasombra, like, angling for these parts, that's going to shake up a city, and not in a direct way, but just, like, little political... like, things being set into motion can really be a strong backbone to, like, a Cam game.
Well,
I'm so sorry, James. Are you saying that George W. Bush is a Ventrue and Dick Cheney is Lasombra?
Yeah, basically.
he shot a man in the face and went, apologize to me.
And he did.
Yeah,
on
he
the
did.
news.
He did. Okay. Now, not actually, like, shitting on them or calling them edgelords. In all honesty, I believe, like, playing a Lasombra should be a very, like, it is a morality thing. This is a character you play if you want to get into the minutia of, like, how far are you willing to go? What are you going to do? Where is this character going to go? Is there a line? Like, if you want to really explore, like, what it means to be a monster in Vampire, this is a good clan to go with, because they are just like, we're going to push that limit. And where are you as the the player that's playing it, and the ST willing to, like, go with? If you're going to explore those concepts and really dig deep into some gritty things, Lasombra's pretty good for that. Like, you're gonna go hard into that.
Yeah, and I think maybe a moment of clarity, even though we already did, like 3 hours talking about Ventru, but these two are kind of a counterbalance to each other. Mm-hmm. So going from like Ventru, who I think a theme that I'm starting to see pull out more is like more the price of power. And like, yes, you're climbing and growing more powerful, but because of that, you're seeing more power exerted on you by even more powerful people that you are now moving closer to. Whereas Lasombra is more, what will you do for that power? Whereas Ventru is more like, how does that power affect me in the world? How do I affect the world around with it? Lasombra is more like, what will I do for that? What does it take to gain that?
Yeah, the difference between what are you willing, what is the price of power, Ventru, and what are you willing to pay for power, Lasombra.
Yeah, and there's some interesting cosmic horror things you can get into with Lasombra that I don't see come up as often, and I really would like it, because it's like, yeah, you're traveling into the shadow realm. Like, you are using the power of and interacting with something that is far vaster than anything you are going to be able to comprehend as a vampire, let alone a mortal. Mm-hmm. Like, the abyss is like pretty much instantly death for most alive people, and there are Lasombra who just chill there and live there, and sometimes just to be a dick, they'll throw a vampire in there, and then you're just like, well, I hope they don't come back. And, you know, what if you, in your studies of the Abyss and Oblivion, realize that it starts talking to you and offering you things?
Yeah, there's actually one of the Sabbat Oblivion powers that does that, where I believe it says if you do, because it's literally you grab a motherfucker with the shadows, yank them down through the Oblivion, and then bring them to you. I think, if I recall the rules, if you do it to a mortal, they're pretty much just dead. If
Yeah.
you do it
They have
to
a chance to survive.
yeah, like they're very minute. Like, it does either a shitload of damage or it's a really hard test. Mm-hmm. And like, when you do it to a vampire, not only are you bringing them to you, I believe it does like a shitload of damage too. Like,
Yeah.
real fucked up.
So if you want to get into parts of the game where you're going to be fucking with characters' willpower more than their physicality, delving into like, hey, so yeah, you being a badass and like controlling the room and da-da-da, like that's a hand wave for you. Like, you got that. Like, you've secured that bag, honey. But there's this thing inside of you that makes you want to like walk into the ocean and, you know, go see things beyond others. And because of that, it's kind of like, you know, shell shock and like soldiers that have gone to war and now they come back and their perspectives are just completely different from everybody around them. It's like, how do you parse being in a city and dealing with people and petty politics when you've been like changed in such a fundamental way?
I mean, I think that's a cool, I mean, expanding on that, I think even like, how do you deal with other vampires when you know for a fact that, you know, the Abyss exists? You know, other
It lives inside you.
Exactly. You know, there might be other vampires that are like, yeah, Lasombra do spooky shit, but like, so do Tremere. You know, they're just doing magic. So that's probably just magic that the Lasombra are doing. But the Lasombra's like, no, homie, no, it's not.
It's
that's
very
a
different.
thing back there behind me. You know, I think that's kind of a cool idea to.
Yeah.
Again, it's almost one of those, when someone comes back from like an alien abduction, how do you continue to live in the world when you're like, I've seen aliens, man, I know what I saw. You know?
Sky's on fire.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool idea.
I will say, as soon as Sarah said go into the water, my brain's MP3 file spun up Mermaider.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was coming. I believe it's coming out along the same time. But I don't know if any of you guys are a fan of the comic book The Darkness.
Yes.
I mean, he's borderline a Lasombra character anyway, with like the demon tentacles coming out of the shadows and stuff. But that is something you could, as an ST or request as a player, you know, like, just to go back to that counterbalance of all the clans we've gone over so far, the Ventru, it's kind of like a personal goal and you feel a right to this power, you know, like you're an heir or you're owed this, or whereas like...
Does the power feel like it has a right to you?
Maybe, kind of, but what I was going to say is even more to lean into that ruthlessness and, you know, you have this oblivion behind you that might be talking to you, and it's almost like this demon on your shoulder saying, do it. Go a little further. Take a little bit more. Like this push behind you, this otherworld entity, this urge that's like, but you don't have to keep him alive.
Right.
Or, you know, why isn't that your car?
Just drop him. He's dead weight. Like, what's the matter? It's just one human.
Oh yeah, it's just the call to the void, but
Ennui.
Yeah.
It's not a demon on your
11.
shoulder. It's just like a cigarette smoking stereotypical Frenchman that's just like, no, jump off.
yeah. You know what? Her life
doesn't
sucks
matter.
anyways. Why don't you just push her off the ledge? It will give her freedom.
This guy won't shut up in the car. You know, if you drive it into the pylon, you can walk out.
He won't. It will be a terrible accident. No
Just
one
like,
will blame
"Fuck!"
I thought of the idea just now of like almost comparing or having a Lasombra that almost compares it to like someone who wears a gun on their hip, where it's like, I have power and I'm showing it off. That could be how they look at the Oblivion too. They may not really care that it might one day eat them, but it's one of those like, no, I'm more powerful than you because look what I have.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah, that will feed into like the just arrogance that a lot of Lasombra will have, where they're just like, no, I can wield this. I can make it do things.
Right.
Oh, this little bitch baby here.
So does anyone else have any other final thoughts? I know we're going into history next week, and then we'll have a little bonus after that. But
Next week is history, and then things specific in V5 to look out for Lasombra that are neat.
and you know, like big name,
Big
characters.
NPCs. The who, the what, the when, the where's, the whys, the hows.
Yeah.
Oh, strap in for next week, guys.
It's gonna get rough.
I think the one thing I'm going to say that it might just be, you might be just cut this, I don't know. But I personally like the idea of, remember, you can always flavor your Oblivion powers to kind of what you want. It doesn't have to be like shadow tentacles. Blah, 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 blah. You know, you can have it, I don't know, have a face.
Or be like shattered glass.
Or shattered
shards.
glass. Or like, you know, it may have weird sound sometimes. You know, I think Gideon, when he used his, the area had like this weird feeling of like sea.
Yeah, anytime he used his ability, I tried to like give everybody the description that just the air around you just kind of felt like cold morning, like everything's just damper and like a little briny for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely would be way more afraid of somebody using any of their powers if it just started like advancing and sounding like cracking ice and or shattering glass, just like.
Oh,
I'd be
you
like,
want
no?
Oh, SGs, if you want a scary moment, go onto YouTube and find audio recordings of like glacial sheet ice like shifting, and just have that ready on deck and just crank it really low and then just play it when Lasombras are doing shit in your game, just enough for the players to barely pick it up. That's just like
Oh, an infrasound moment. Oh, no.
yeah.
I watched this. Maybe I already brought this up in an episode. Sorry if I did. Cut it if I did. I watched this video of two like redneck dudes carrying this giant piece of flat concrete up this big hill to a train bridge over this giant frozen lake. They threw it over the edge, and when it hit the lake, it broke through. But then it was just like. And it sounded like hundreds of monsters just screaming. And they were like, oh, yeah.
I mean,
But
you know,
it
they
was
were doing it for
fucking
the male
cool.
audience.
I mean, yeah, it was cool as shit, but it was also like, oh my God, they woke something up.
I don't like
Yeah,
it.
it'd be like, yeah, that's really cool, but none of you have like horror trauma to be like, oh no, oh no.
Right, yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. Oh no, I need to run.
yeah, all you got to do is look up the hashtag. This one's for the boys.
Yeah.
It's just
Throw it
like
on the ground. Throw it on the ground.
Oh yeah, just watching men just screaming like yes, yes, and then just ooks. But I mean, you know, breaking things are satisfying.
It is
so
fun.
it's a good time. Thank you,
Oh.
Paralyze, for the music, I guess.
Bruges showing.
What? Fuck you.
Tear it down!
We are planning on recalibrating the clan poll soon. Yes.
yeah, we've had a couple sitting on there hanging out. So I think we're gonna run a new poll and completely refresh the list. There's 2 clans that we've been doing some extra bonus work for.
Don't say them yet.
I'm not gonna say them,
fuck up.
but my throw one of those on the poll and then have the fans pick the other two. Just so, because I think before we do any of the special sauce we've talked about, we need to go over the basics for you guys. So
Yeah.
but yeah, we're gonna refresh the poll. We're gonna pick like the top 2 or 3, and then throw them back into the death battle of Twitter.
Hell yeah. Blood sports, blood sports, blood sports. For fun.
I wonder who's going to be default Mountain Dew and who's going to be Baja Blast this time. I love fucking with y'all.
You think we can get Jean-Claude Van Damme to participate?
Maybe.
Bloodsport?
I don't know. Maybe tag him.
All right. Hashtag Jean-Claude Van Damme. Who
Welcome
do you
to the
think should be the newest vampire fighter?
Welcome to the family. It's so stupid. But yeah.
I would lose my mind if somebody edited Jean-Claude Van Damme doing the splits between the 2 clans. Just
Oh, God. But yeah, so thanks, patrons, for chucking us some money to do this dumb shit. It's a good time. Hopefully we're appeasing our new elder gods.
money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Syndicate, for keeping me living.
Yeah. If you want to chat with us, keep an eye for the new clan poll. It'll be out on the Twitter at Blank Bodies. We also exist on the Instagram at Blank Bodies Pod. We have a Discord with a cool community that share things and do games and art shit and share cool pets.
It's true. Pets and memes and games, and
Sometimes we show up.
we do.
Yeah.
We play video
regularly
games
do.
on there.
Yeah. You guys do. I don't have time. I just periodically pop on and go, okay, so this dumb shit's happening in class. I need somebody else to acknowledge this is also dumb.
We've at least got one role-playing game running, Deadlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Deadlands game. There was an Aliens game that I think just wrapped up.
Yeah, he got finished with that. Like
Aw.
we did the thing and
Hooray.
I mean, I ran some vampire stuff. I think there's some people talking about starting another vampire game. I've got a little project I'm working on that I'll probably end up doing some play testing.
And I think somebody was talking about potentially doing like a G.I. Joe thing.
Yeah, so if you wanna come hang out, ask questions, share any of the projects you're doing in our community promo thing, because we're
go
happy
for
to have other stream folks and podcasts do stuff.
Yeah.
Because community is rad.
It's the truth.
It is true. Everything's on fire. We only have each other. Let's go.
Hey.
I love community.
God fucking damn it.
And we're
that?
looking for another member for the podcast.
No, we can't throw them out after that. I've said dumber shit.
Throw the whole ass man away
I own the equipment.
That's true. He does. All right.
and exit.
I gotta go write the next episode. So goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you later, boys.
How are you gonna do a dark
And girls.
kiss?
End it now.
Fuck.